is going on, guys? We're the Whiskey Boys, and we're back with another episode of Show Me Your Whiskey. Today we're in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes, in an undisclosed location.
This is a place I've been wanting to go for a long time.
Yes.
You guys are going to really enjoy this. This is our friend from social media, Bourbon Goggles, and he has a hidden speakeasy in his basement with amazing whiskeys. So I mean, we've done some pretty special Show Me Your Whiskeys before.
This is chart topping.
But this is chart topping. This is one that I say a lot of people dream about having.
I know.
When we got into whiskey, even you.
I literally have a vision of this is everything that I would want.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I want to go to a place like I would pay money to go to a place like this.
100%.
People would experience. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like a full-on experience that you can have down here. Anyway, we're not going to tease it for too much.
Yeah.
We're going to bring Jon in. We're going to start asking him some questions, just have a fun laid-back tour. We'll drink some whiskey, and we'll show you around on this magical whiskey place.
Let's do it. Well, thank you for bringing us to your basement here. We just walked down. We're at the bottom of the steps, and already it's like overwhelming. There's already so many bottles. So Tell us a little bit about what we see in the beginning here, and maybe a little bit about yourself, too.
Yeah, like where do I look, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So my name's Jon Cecil. Been doing the whole whiskey thing for... I guess almost since 2008, so however long.
Okay.
17 years now. Got into bourbon, and we'll talk about this later, I'm sure, but got into bourbon because I lived in Kentucky and didn't know anything about it.
Fair.
I was like,
I was wondering this with all the Louisville.
Yep. So, funny story about all the Louisville stuff you see behind me. I actually, back in college, I was the Cardinal Bird mascot. So,
oh, no way. I knew you looked familiar.
I just got into bourbon, and I fell in love with that spirit and just never fell out. It's something I truly am passionate about.
What was your gateway into bourbon? Can you recall the first one? And
yeah,
I bet you were young. I bet you weren't 21.
No, I wasn't, but oh my god, this is gonna sound so bad looking back on it. The two that really got me into bourbon. You have the occasional like Woodford or Wood Forest or whatever, but the ones that really got me hooked, that I would maybe mix with some things, don't tell anybody I did that, were Vintage Bourbon 17, the green wax, and Pappy 15. So, those were the two that I look back on it and I say, man, what was I thinking? But you know what? They always say, Fred was famous for saying it, drink it how you like it.
Sure.
And at that time in my life, I guess that's how I liked it.
Sure. Tell us a little bit, like, why you have what you have, where, and that alone is impressive.
For work, I'm actually employed by Bardstown Bourbon Company in Green River. So Lofted Spirits, who owns both Bardstown and Green River. I'm the senior manager for Louisville Visitor Experiences here in Louisville. We've got 2 visitor experiences on Main Street, about 50 steps apart, which is great because I can be working at one and just walk right next door to the other. It's perfect. So those bottles that you saw when you walked down the steps right there at the beginning, those are all of the 4-grain single barrels from one batch of bourbon. So we did 25 4-grain single barrels out of this one vat of bourbon, one fermentation tank, one run, and I got a bottle from every single one of those.
Whoa!
It was pretty cool. So that's what you're seeing there. There's a number of other things mixed in there as well, but all of those single barrels are one month.
That's awesome. And then it seems like you like some sports.
I'm a big Louisville fan, of course. A lot of memorabilia, autographed bottles, things like that. A lot of memorabilia that you see scattered here and there. The golf stuff is obviously important here as well. Valhalla is about 10 minutes from my house, so being able to go out there for the tournament a couple years ago and see that live and in person was amazing.
You're a golfer too?
I am. Okay. Yeah, I love to play golf. Whenever I get a chance, some of the best memories of my life is me and my dad going out and playing golf.
Oh, it's the best. I was on the 9th grade golf team, but I slacked recently. I have to get back to it. So Louisville, obviously, you still watch the sports?
I do.
All the time?
I've actually, you may see this in the video. I've got 2 TVs, both of them are on sports right now.
That's kind of what it was making me think it. So as soon as we walked down, I was like, this is the ultimate man cave right here. What's your teams? Obviously, the college, I know.
So college, big Louisville fan. Baseball, I'm a Cleveland, was the Indians, now the Guardians fan.
Okay.
So big Cleveland fan. unbelievable run they made this year, getting to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Football, it goes back to Lamar Jackson. Big Ravens fan just because of him. I mean, if he were on a different team, I'd probably be a fan of that team.
Wow.
But for the time being, Ravens fan. Basketball, another one, Donovan Mitchell.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a Cavs, so.
I'm a huge Donovan Mitchell fan. I'm a New York Knicks fan. That's my favorite
yeah.
team. And when we almost got Donovan Mitchell, and then he ended up going to Cleveland.
Yep.
But huge fan of him.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not a Browns fan. So
Okay,
I like Cleveland
when you said that, I
sports,
was going to ask.
except-
Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of like your little memorabilia wall. You have some Bardstown over here. Some other things. Turns into a little bit of man cave. And then we shift down to this, which I don't want to give you too much of a heads up. We're not even in the speakeasy yet. I hope y'all don't think that this is the speakeasy. This is already impressive and crazy right here.
So, yeah, and something I always do for a tasting, you guys aren't special. I always set up food, so there's always some kind of a spread here. Nothing over the top, but it's always a good
What
idea
are these
to.
green things?
But it's always a good idea to have to drink responsibly, have something to nibble on.
Which we said when we first came in here, we're like, we hope you didn't do this for us, but don't you respect that we would probably do something like this?
100%.
Absolutely, I know you would. But then you see a bunch of bourbon on this wall. Now, a lot of these bottles are bottles that were gifted to me at one time or another. A lot of influencers and friends and people who come over and do a tasting with me. A lot of times, instead of I don't charge for any of my any tastings here. So a lot of times people will just come over and bring a bottle to leave as if they're leaving a piece of themselves here in the speakeasy. So it's kind of like a bourbon influencer Hall of Fame almost. But a lot of really unique stuff, a lot of, there's like New York, Virginia, Texas, Tennessee. There's a lot of different states represented with the rest of the wall as well. And then once you get around that curve, you've got a lot of Scotches, Tennessee, Canadian, Irish, and then some other bourbons there, and some other random stuff on top as well.
And we're obviously heavy bourbon, but are you balanced? Do you like a little bit of Scotch, a little bit of Irish, a little bit of bourbon, or do you lean mostly bourbon?
Mostly bourbon.
Okay.
I would say 95% of my collection is the way that 95% of bourbon's made in Kentucky. 95% of my collection is also Kentucky. So most of it is going to be bourbon. At the time of recording this, I'm a week away from being in Scotland right now. So
For your 40th birthday?
for my 40th birthday, it's going to be awesome.
Congratulations.
So,
thought you were 29.
Scotch. So Scotch is one that I'm really a fan of.
Okay.
Tequila. I'm an equal opportunity imbiber, so there's really nothing.
I think we're the same way. We lean heavy with bourbon, but we do enjoy Scotch and Irish.
I think I just like
Japanese.
to craft a good quality spirit that can cross different countries and borders and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Except that pinnacle salted caramel. I don't know what that's all about.
Oh, that's my favorite actually. No, if you want a great Jello shot recipe, green apple Jello and pinnacle salted caramel.
Whoa!
Caramel apple Jello shots. That's actually why it's there.
That's really fun.
That's the one.
Which, I mean, we always laugh when you go back to what we used to drink. I mean, we've drank flavored whiskeys. We used to make...
Bird Dog was our favorite.
Yeah, Bird Dog. I remember we did...
Bird
It
Dog.
was Diet Coke, Bird Dog with cigars by a bonfire. And we thought we were cool and
I
classy.
can get used to this.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like I was saying earlier, drink it how you want it.
Yeah.
And if that's what gets you to where you're gonna be eventually, I mean, you guys wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for your Bird Dog and Tiger.
Exactly.
So before that we
I look
go...
super chill.
Before we go into the room and stuff, I noticed your picture,
Yeah.
and then these barrels. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, actually, a couple years ago, there's a charity called Bourbon with Heart who they commissioned 20 different artists from around the local area, Louisville, Southern Indiana, commissioned 20 artists to paint an entire barrel. There were no rules; you could paint whatever you wanted, but it had to have some sort of meaning to you. Mine certainly told a story. It's really 3 parts for my story. So the front of the barrel shows the downtown skyline of Louisville, and really what that skyline is, it represents today's tourism, but it also represented the old bourbon in its prime back in the day, pre-Prohibition. There were over 200 different distilleries or rectifiers along Whiskey Road. And today we're bringing a lot of that back, which is really cool. So downtown, that's where bourbon tourism really takes hold and gets its start. People come in for tastes at the downtown tasting rooms. And then you flip to the back side of the barrel, you'll actually see the countryside. You've got a Woodford Reserve Rick house. There's some white picket fences. There's a horse in a field. Just the things that when you go on the bourbon trail for the first time, you really fall in love with bourbon, with Kentucky, just all of it. And then the third thing is the thing that frames the speakeasy, or the different scenes, and that's actually the drapes from my speakeasy. There's these red drapes with these little dangly balls. For me, it represents passing through a barrier, but really a period of time to where you kind of forget about your worries. You just end up in a space that you don't have to worry about time or things or issues or people that you're mad at or whatever. You just go through that speakeasy, go through the drapes into the speakeasy, and it's just you and the people you're with and the pours and the memories you're going to make that night. So
It's awesome. Yeah.
Very important.
So you printed pictures and then you pasted it on the barrel. Is that what you said?
Absolutely.
Who actually? Did you actually paint it?
Yeah. So I painted all of that.
That is awesome.
That was a acrylic on barrel wood.
Wow.
And yeah, I was super excited about it. It's actually still currently on display at Buzzard's Roost.
Oh,
really?
Okay, so that's why.
Yeah. If y'all end up down at the tasting room down on Main Street, just a block from where I work, you can still walk in today and see my artwork on display.
So cool.
That's awesome.
You know, now that you work with Bardstown and Green River, is there ever like competition, or do you feel like people are like, just promote our whiskey, or people are like, no, we promote everybody? How does that usually go? Be real with us.
The beauty of Whiskey Row and the beauty of bourbon in general is the same way it was in 1996 when Heaven Hill had their fire and everybody pitched in, whether it was Beam or Brown-Forman, Old Forester, pitching in to make sure that nobody was left behind, to today when, people come in and they say, I'm enjoying your stuff, but where should I go next? Absolutely. We're going to give you some great recommendations. So we all work together. It's a rising tide sort of situation.
For sure. I believe the same way. So where's the speakeasy? How do we get to the speakeasy?
It's a great question. So we were just talking about those curtains, right? I don't see the curtains, but hiding those curtains, you've got this bookcase here. So let's go. Let's drink some bourbon.
It's like a whole different world. It's
Yep.
wild.
So you're not just stepping into a different room, you're stepping into a different time. That's
Guessing that's on purpose.
something that absolutely.
Because I was going to say a couple quick thoughts when we come in. One, love the little jazz music and this player right here. That's really cool.
That gramophone was super important. I had this vision of having that gramophone, and ending up finding one was a much tougher task than what I thought it would be, but we got it. It's perfect.
So this isn't like one of the new fake versions on Amazon. Yeah.
Well, bad news. It actually it does work, but it is a replica, a newer.
Most are. Totally fair. And then also you keep it very clean.
You got to, right?
Because I'm used to Jeremiah's collection. It smells great though. We got a little Bardstown candle right away.
Those things are for sale down in the.
Oh, really? Okay.
So.
The reason why I say this is because, obviously the first shock is incredible whiskeys in here, but it's just like, it does feel like a full-on experience. It feels different than it was out there.
100%. And that's by design. One of my favorite things about the difference in the two spaces is a lot of times people will come in and I'll tell whoever my main point of contact is, I'll tell them, hey, you guys are coming, bring whoever you want, but don't tell them about the speakeasy. So when they come in and they see that space out there,
they're already probably like, oh, that's cool.
They're like, wow, that's a lot of bourbon. And then they walk through here and they just...
That's awesome. I mean, I knew what this looked like from like your social media, and I'm still impressed.
The pictures don't do it justice.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Hopefully the video does. But, it was a labor of love. This was, you care if I tell you a little bit about the build itself?
Please do, yeah.
So this was a COVID project. I never wanted to, obviously I couldn't build anything when I was renting. So finally in 2019, I bought a house and I had 10 years of thinking about this room. Once I bought the house, I was like, all right, here we go. And then COVID hit and I was like, oh, I've got more time now. So it was fine. It was me and my Uncle Mike. We ended up putting this room together, building it from scratch. So there was actually a wall right here where we're standing. So the room was really only about this big at one point. So we busted out that wall, make sure that it's not load bearing. Busted out that wall, moved it out to here. There's a beam actually right here that holds up the first floor. Important. So because it's so important, I had to name it. Named it Jim. That's the Jim beam.
Love that.
Once we had the measurements of the room, went to town on designing what the rest of the room was going to look like.
Okay.
Obviously, this is a feature wall here. You've got the lighting behind it. You've got the hutch here. All of these shelves were handmade. So got into some woodworking, got into some lighting. I'd never done wallpaper myself, so I did wallpaper for the first time. Interesting thing about this hutch, so this was actually, it was all one piece. It was attached right here. If you look at the top there, that was attached right here. So I was able to pry it up, flip it upside down, and then put it up on the ceiling of the wall like that. So it created a cool little bar top, and one you wouldn't typically think, oh, that was one piece. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Wow. And I'm probably jumping ahead, but it looks like you keep some vintages in here.
There are, yeah. So a lot of the vintages, so my thoughts behind this piece was that's where I'm going to keep all the bottles that look old or that are old. So there's things like Kentucky Owl in there. There's things like, I mean, if it says the word old, it's maybe in there. But a lot of these are 1985s. So right now,
It's a good year, huh?
I was going to say, we said it earlier, I'm turning 40 this year. 85 is an important year for me, so went on a little kick of over the past 3 years of collecting bottles from my birth year, from 1985, and been opening them slowly over the course of the last month or so, preparing for the birthday to celebrate.
When did you really start collecting whiskey? We don't always love using that word collecting, but when did you really start collecting whiskey like this?
Yeah, the collection really ramped up from 2012 to 2016.
Okay.
I mean, it was probably, I went from about 200 bottles to 800 bottles in that time period.
Yep, that's big. And that was probably when prices were still really solid.
Yeah. Everything, you could find anything.
Wow.
2016 is really where people caught on and started, buying everything up whenever they saw it.
How did you feel when that happened?
I felt lucky because I had a lot of that stuff already.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of that change, and I was like, well, game's different now.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna enjoy what I've got instead of going out and looking for what everybody else has.
Yep, that's a good point. I mean, we were just talking about him. You have we think 1,000. We can't really say for sure, but that's the struggle. Like sometimes we look back, we're like, wait a minute, we're like blowing past these for what's next and what's new, and we want to still savor those past bottles, or we don't revisit them enough when we really should. So it goes both ways. And nowadays, you just adjust with the times. It stinks that things aren't on the shelves anymore. But I will say there is something fun about the hunt as well.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like I was like, I need E.H. Taylor small batch 5 years ago, and now I'm like, oh, it's on the shelf. I don't even want it then. If I could get it, I don't want it.
Right. That's crazy. There are those few bottles that if you hear about it, you're keeping track of it. You're trying to find it when it comes out. But for the most part, at this point, I mean, you got 1,600 bottles. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
Like why keep hunting?
Great
when
point.
You can just go to town sharing.
Yeah. So true. Well, not to be a mooch, but maybe we should do a little pour.
Let's do it
while we're
Absolutely.
doing this. Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm gonna. I'm actually gonna pop something for you
Yes,
guys.
I was gonna ask.
I've been looking forward to
Whatever
this
you
one. I just got it. This was actually one of the ones that I was kind of looking for, keeping an eye out for, and it ended up hitting the shelves a couple months ago, and been saving it for an opportunity like this to open.
Love that.
So this is one that I haven't had yet, and I know you haven't had either yet. So this is the Eagle Rare 12-year.
Sweet.
Just ended up hitting the shelf recently. I think you might have had it already.
Why does Texas get that?
I know.
But yeah, gonna pop this one open. Really excited to share this one with you guys.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Let's go ahead and get this bad boy open.
Oh,
there it is.
Nice pop right there, baby.
Pour yourselves, feel free. Yeah, so those glasses, those are from Sterling Cut Glass. It's a whiskey taster. I just really like these glasses for a couple of reasons. One, slightly wider opening than the classic Glencairn. It still filters things up, but it allows things to pass a little bit past your factors a little bit. But number two, because of that ball that's on there, it's actually able to fit on this little rack here.
Oh, I love that.
So it's
That's what's most important.
absolutely.
I do love these glasses.
It's all about the look.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, fellas. All right. Yeah, the little extra proof does
there.
give you something
It's
for
there.
sure. That's nice.
A little grape or raisin? Grape raisin?
Yep. Grazing.
Yeah. A little blend of both. Because it's almost like juicy sweet, but it also has a dryness. It's like both.
I wonder if that's where we pick up One of my favorite, you always talk about this with the Eagle Rare 17, is that blueberry note.
Yeah.
And I get a little hint of that.
Yeah, the 17 is my dream bottle to get one day.
Oh yeah.
But you know how that is nowadays, how hard it is to get.
Yeah, I think anything VTAC is going to be just...
Yeah.
Especially now with the E.H. Taylor hit.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That would be a fun one, huh?
Ugh.
I've got to try. The 17 always just hits everything I want. It's like classic, but also unique at the same time.
So tell me about your organization. I'm
Oh,
fascinated about that. How do you track what you have, and then are you tracking how much is left, or what you need to buy, anything like that?
Couple of cool things about organization. I'll start with how I have things physically organized in here. I read a book by Chuck Cowdery called Bourbon Strange, and he said that I think it was Chuck Cowdery. So Bourbon Strange, he said at the end in the after post word, if you collect anything, there's a difference between hoarding and collecting. If you collect, you have things organized based on a category or one thing or another. So I had already had this organized when I read that, so I felt a whole lot better about myself once I did. But as you'll see, organization and balance was important in this room. So on the left side here, the first 5 and then the next 3, those are all Heaven Hill. So then balancing that out on the other side, the first 5 and the next 3, those are all Buffalo Trace. So then back over here, you've got 2 Wild Turkeys. Over there, you've got 2 Jim Beams. And then finishing that off, you've got 3 Four Roses and 2 Makers. On the other side, you've got 2 KBD Willets, 2 Jeffersons. And how did that Bardstown get there? I have no idea. Rolling off of the Buffalo Trace, it rolls into those Blantons, also for Buffalo Trace. And then,
Okay, you have some crazy plans up there.
it's a cool story too.
Wow.
And then a waterfall of Brown Foreman products, and then carrying over from that Buffalo Trace, you end up finally, after this wall and another wall, you finally hit the Buffalo Trace Antiques.
Yeah, just put them in the back corner.
Exactly. And the Van Winkles. So I never wanted this collection to be about names. I wanted it to be about good bourbon and drinking. So enjoying those memories, sharing those pours. Those bottles over there, those are great, but I could have put them, in that
front and center,
in that cupboard.
Yep.
But that's not what this was about. So that was an important part of that. And then up top over here, this whole shelf that runs from the entire length of the room, that whole shelf was all about, do I have bottles that are under 11 inches tall? And the answer was yes. Because if that didn't happen...
I love that category. That's great.
If that didn't happen, I would not have anywhere to put them. So luckily, those are exactly what those are.
Yeah,
So you got the 1792s, the Orphan Barrels, the Blood Oaths. So.
I feel like we were really big Blood Oath fans, and recently something happened just did the same.
Yeah, since Scarlet Shade, I've had a struggle of buying some of those.
So the same way.
Initially, Old Blowhard was one that really caught me, and then after that, Lost Prophet was just a game changer.
Never had any of those.
And then the Rhetoric line, like all 6 of those right in a row. It was cool to see what happened 1 year later.
Really?
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It was a
Remember I tried one
experience.
in Palm Springs.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
But as you move through the room, you've got some Mictors and some stuff from outside of the states with High West, and then you finish it off with a bunch of the 2015 and 2016 releases of Bookers. So those were the first 2 years of once they started naming their batches. So 15 and 16, you've got all those, and then little books 1 through 5, and some of the cool knobs up there too. And of course, Pablo's represented well with some rare character.
Yeah, great stuff.
The other question, how do I keep track? Well, this is where the name of the speakeasy actually comes into play. So I was trying to come up with a cool name. Everybody's done like the lying dog or the sleepy pig or whatever names they want to come up with. I decided that I was going to try to read some period appropriate books and find a good name in one of those, like the White Whale or something like that. So I read Moby Dick, I read Tale of Two Cities. After a few books, I was like, man, I'm gonna need a freaking card catalog just to come up with a good name. And then I was like, wait, card? As you guys know, I was the cardinal bird, the mascot at U of L. I was like, card has an extra meaning. Catalog is just something you open up to find something that you want. And I obviously we just opened up that door and found plenty of stuff that we want. So card catalog made sense. So then I said, what if I bought an old period appropriate card catalog from the late 1800s? So I went on eBay, and I don't know if you guys knew eBay still exists. Went on eBay, and I found this old Globe card catalog. So this was late 1800s, like 1895, Globe card catalog. Back in the day, Globe was kind of the Mercedes-Benz of desk equipment. So this was, this thing it's heavy load. So found that, I was like, that'll be a cool accent piece for the room, cool conversation piece. And then I said, what if I could make it useful? So decided to do exactly that.
That's so cool.
So in here, you'll actually see that it's all book themed. So the book title is going to be the name of the bourbon, author is the distillery, published date's the year that it came out, and then I've got this little library stamp where you can stamp on here what the date of the tasting was. You can write down a name and any tasting notes that you've got, things like that. So yeah,
Incredible.
it ended up becoming a thing where it's less about drinking, more about the memories. And
Wow.
anytime you drink that pour, you're not just drinking it with whoever's here that night, you're drinking with anybody who's had it in this space before.
Wow.
So, game changer. Completely different tasting experience.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A spreadsheet on my computer. So, if I need to figure out valuations and stuff like that for insurance, I've got that.
Do you have insurance?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah. My life insurance on my girlfriend, but anyway. Once again, I don't want to jump ahead, but I'm going to hit you with the hard one.
That's what she said.
What's your most prized possession if you had to pick one?
Oh, man. You're all's French. No, my most prized possession is going to be that A.H. Hirsch 16 in the humidor. That one was, it signified, so I could probably tell a story about every single bottle in this collection, the same way that you guys could. I mean, all those bottles, you probably know what the weather was like, what shirt you were wearing, the reason you opened it, all that kind of stuff. You probably can tell every one of those stories. That one, so it came out in 2009. It sat on the shelves for a while. It was in 2013. I got promoted to a job in Richmond, Virginia, and I wanted to buy myself a bottle that I would really appreciate. And the MSRP on that was, I think it was $12.99, but the liquor store that I went to was trying to sell it for $1,500.
Okay.
So I walked in and started talking to him,
And this was 13, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I walked in and
Inflation.
Imagine now.
I started telling them about, I'd really like to buy the bottle, how much? They were telling me, and I was like, well, let me tell you, I've got $1,200 in my pocket right now. And they're like, oh, no, we can't take it. I was like, I pulled it out. It was cash. I pulled out $1,200, so I got $1,200 right now. I said, I can't do it. I said, call your boss, feel free. He goes, let me make a phone call. So he made a phone call, he came back to me, he said, $1,300. So he brought $200 off. I said, let me go to the ATM. I went out to my car. I had another $50. Went out to the car, came back in, I said, I've got $1,250. Let me make another call. So he makes a call, he says, all right, $1,250 plus tax. I said, listen, I've got $1,250.
Yeah, take the cash.
Do you want the money or not? He said, I'll take it. So
Wow.
ended up getting that bottle. It was a celebration of getting that promotion, getting ready to move moving from Kentucky to Richmond, Virginia. It's straight out I-64, so I mean it's not like it's a far drive or a crazy drive, but it's you're moving away from home.
Yeah.
So it was a big difference.
Big deal.
Having a bottle like that to remember that by and celebrate it with, that's a pretty cool one. So one of these days, probably when I get married, if that ever happens, plan to.
That would be your wedding one?
I've got 2 wedding bottles.
Because we talk about that all the time.
So it's going to be that, and I've got a 2008 Four Roses Mirage that you guys are probably familiar with the Four Roses limited edition small batch.
Yes.
This was the first one that they did.
Oh.
They called it Mirage because it's the French word for marriage. So when they took the first time that they blended or married a number of high-end barrels, they called it Mirage. So in 2008 and 2009, they had these silver tops and they called it Mirage. Then they realized that Americans didn't really understand what Mirage meant. It was like like the hotel out in Las Vegas. They're like, all right, we're changing. It's called limited edition small batch from now on, and that's what it's been since then. But,
Wow.
But as far as a cool wedding bottle and marriage, mirage,
Yeah.
that's gonna be my.
We're like I said this before, but we're big believers in one, whiskey's best when it's shared during great moments, and two, we like finding special bottles for special moments. We like picking out times to open bottles, so.
Absolutely.
So I know you're very busy with work nowadays, and you already have a great collection, but how often do you still hunt? Or how often do you go to bottle drops? Or you just let it fall in your lap nowadays?
Anymore, I've been working during most of those bottle drops. So a lot of the really interesting bourbons for me are ones that Bardstown Bourbon's actually creating.
Yeah.
Things like Cathedral that came out earlier this year, things like Hokkaido, things like Normandy that are going to be coming out later this year. So those things are really cool, but I don't have to drive anywhere or wait in lines or anything like that. Those are things that are just really cool and unique. As far as going to drops or anything like that, it's been a while since I've done that.
I mean, it's also when you have a collection like this.
Yeah,
I get it.
I don't mean to sound like conceited, but there's a lot of good bourbon in here. I don't need to do that.
What am I going to add? Yeah.
But I know that a lot of times on this channel you ask about how you make connections or how you go about getting those special bottles or whatever it happens to be, and it really goes back to friendships and creating those relationships. Don't just walk in expecting to get something. But if you've got a collection like this, you can show a picture and be like, hey, I've got a lot of bourbon. I spend a lot of money on bourbon. I would love to spend that money with you.
Yeah.
And if you say that to them and then you actually follow through on that, whenever your bottle of Woodford or Maker's runs out, you go back to that store and say, hey, I was thinking of you. That's why I'm here. I wanted to get this bottle. They'll remember that.
Yeah.
Because they know you've got plenty of bourbon. They know you don't need to come back and do that. But you did that. You came in. You spent your money with them. It's a power move, but it works.
It works. You do that. You do the
impact.
same thing. Pick one or two places. Try to stick with them if you can. Be loyal, and take the time. And I struggle with that because I'm one of those people that when I go out, I do want to just run my errands and go home. But it's always led to like good relationships. Like the times that I do take the time, I'm like, oh, that was actually really nice to talk. So
I've got 2 tips for that. So, one, samples are great. Don't tell anybody you did it. But samples, if you take a little 2-ounce sample bottle of something cool that you just got or something that, when you get a cool bottle, open it, bring that back to them. Not only will that show, hey, I opened that bottle, but B, I wanted to share it with you. So that's a nice
not just
way
think
to
about
do
yourself.
It. Yep. And then 2, don't be annoying.
The guys who call, they don't even want to stop at the store.
There's those guys, but then there's the ones that they show up and they just sit there waiting for something to drop, and it's like, that's cool.
That's wild.
I know that. Oh man, you guys ready for a story?
Yes.
This is wild. I'm not going to disclose the location or the place or the person, but so I walked into a liquor barn. And I'm not going to say which one, but I walked into a liquor barn and I walked up and one of my former employees I actually used to work with, I walked up and she was like, hey, are you here for the King? I was like, what? She was like, yeah, are you here for the King of Kentucky? I was like, what are you talking about? I was next door buying a menorah to celebrate Hanukkah with my girlfriend. So I was like, what are you talking about? I just went to this other store and I just decided to stop in and see what you guys were up to. And she was like, oh, well, there's King of Kentucky right there on the shelf.
Oh my God.
Like sitting right there. And I was like, are you serious right now? She was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, no, this is great.
No, this is amazing.
So I grabbed one and I walked up the aisle and then back down the aisle. By the time I was back down the aisle, they were all gone.
Wow.
But I walked over to the manager after I made the purchase and I was like, what the heck? What happened? He was like, oh yeah, there were a bunch of guys that were just sitting around waiting from like 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 7. Finally, they left, assuming it wasn't going to happen. So I put it out at 7:30.
Wow.
So don't be annoying, and you will get a better chance.
100%.
That's the moral of the story.
I love that because there's a lot of people. We get, with our page, so many messages. Like, I just got one this morning. She's like, "Hey, it's my family's member's birthday. I'm just really want to get them something special." but I'm like, I wish I could help you. It's not as easy as just saying, go do this one thing.
Right.
There's a lot to it. And I think people are looking for those tips, but there's good tips, and then there's the wrong ones, like you said, just waiting around. But building relationships, and that leads to more things. Yeah, it leads to even friendships. Like the liquor store owners that we know, I feel like they're not just people that we talk to; they're actually friends. So.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But man, there's a lot of flippers out there too.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, I work at the downtown tasting rooms, so Bardstown and Green River. And anytime we have a release for Bardstown, it's the same 15, 20 people at the front of the line every single time.
Wow.
And it's annoying, but it's, you know what, they can do what they want with their bottles, and if they're gonna wait the time, great. But gosh, I hope that those bottles end up getting somewhere that they actually deserve to go.
Yeah, 100%. We're big. I mean, I think I've traded like twice. And it was like because I really wanted a bottle. Yeah. But for the most part, I'm actually so bad, I go home and I crack bottles that night and I'm like, did I need to do that? I was like, I can wait a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that.
Is there anything else that you're waiting to open or not that you will save?
Actually, later, within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be opening this bottle right here.
That's so wild.
So
Weller Antique 107.
The gold vein.
Do you know what year it is?
1985.
Wow. That's
So birth year bottle. This is going to be one that either before or right after I turn 40. This is the one that I'm celebrating my birthday with.
How do you get that? Or have you had it for a while?
I've had it for a while, and I'll be, if you follow Bourbon Goggles, at Bourbon Goggles on Instagram, if you follow that, you'll actually hear this story again. But, or you may have already read it by this point. We've got a buddy out in Virginia who has an insane Jack Daniels collection, but he has a very good bourbon collection in general. So my buddy Jon, he was like, hey, I've got this bottle, would you be interested? I was like, I'm absolutely interested in it, but I know it's going to set me back like $3,000. He goes, how's $1,000 something? I was like, you know what? Absolutely. And like I was saying, I don't do the secondary thing, but you know, buddy to buddy, and a bottle that has so much significance for me. I guess everybody's willing to make an exception around there.
I'm the same way. We don't do secondary, but there are certain situations where I absolutely would. And we were just talking
about birthday years as well.
Like we were talking about like neat bards.
I mean, we're a little younger, but...
Yeah, I don't know what the 8 number means, but...
Hey, now.
Me on the edge of 90. Not even that different.
Yeah, so something, and this actually goes back to my grandfather. So my grandfather's name is Waldo, and Waldo was that guy. He was the guy that, you know, everybody loved. He walks into a room, people cheer. I mean, he was the guy that everybody knew. But he was the guy that everybody knew when he walked into a bar, which is great because, you know, it seems like he's the fun guy that everybody's just happy that he's there. They also knew that they were going to make some money if Waldo walked in. So he drank quite a bit, to the point where when I got into bourbon and I got into drinking anything in general, I knew that I needed to be careful. Waldo, growing up, he always had a highball in his hand and a cigarette in his mouth. He was the life of the party, but he had some vices. So knowing that, and he always had like a big handle, a white handle of Yellowstone. This is from the early 2000s. He actually passed when I was 15. So I never actually got to drink legally with Waldo. I may have had a few, but never drank legally with Waldo. But I always remember growing up, he had that handle of Yellowstone. So because of him and because of, you know, knowing that I needed to be careful when it came to drinking, I made a pact with myself that I would only drink if I had people over. So the whole purpose of this room, literally, I mean, you got 1,600 bourbons. Not a one of them means anything if I'm not hosting guys like you.
Wow.
So selfishly, thanks for coming over, guys.
Thank you, man.
But more than anything, I was able to tell that story to a bourbon group out of Richmond, Virginia that I was a part of. I helped bring it to life. And I said, we were doing a barrel pick at Yellowstone, and I said, if there was somebody that we could honor, I've never asked for a barrel to be named after anything, or me to name a barrel personally, but if there was ever a reason to name a single barrel after somebody, this would be the one that I would want. We ended up picking this Yellowstone single barrel, 115 proof. It's called RVA Bourbon Tasters, Where's Waldo? And on the back, they tater stickered it up.
Oh, that's awesome.
They made a Where's Waldo called, so Waldo's Last Resort was the lake house that we have down at Rough River. And you can actually see right here, there's a picture of Waldo holding up a bottle.
Cool.
So that's a really special bottle for me. But yeah, it's a pretty cool one, and it just really goes back to this space and why it's important. You know, it's all about the memories, it's all about sharing, and it's all about, you know, doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
So that's why we're here.
I love that.
All right, so I'll let you guys pick this one. So we got Taylor, Old Crow, Old Fitz, Old Charter, Old Granddad. What do y'all think?
I'll do the Old Granddad. I don't think I've ever had a vintage Old Granddad.
Old Granddad it is. That's some of the best stuff, man.
Is
So
it? Okay.
1985 National Distillers, you actually see on the top here. You see that National Distillers tax strip. This stuff, man, up until 87 it was produced. So most of these actually, Taylor, Old Crow, Old Granddad, these were all produced at National Distillers up until 87.
Wow. First off, we did just have a little bit of the 1985 Old Granddad, which, what did you think about it? So good. It was actually really good, right? And then, you know, finished that up really quick, and we decided
So I'm gonna put that there because I can't get the other one out.
we realized, like, we've had a few Bardstowns. I've had some of the main ones because I've gone to like whiskey festivals and had them there, but haven't had a lot of like the big releases, and haven't had a chance to try this Cathedral.
Yeah, this is one that some really special bourbon. It was a blend of 5 different bourbons, aging anywhere from 9 years to 18 years. All Kentucky bourbon and just some unbelievable stuff. Now, the cool thing about the oak that was used to finish this, in France, they went out after Notre Dame Cathedral caught fire and they had to repair Notre Dame. They went out and they tried to find the best wood, the best grains, the tightest wood, the most similar to the wood that they originally built the cathedral with. So they found this one lot in the Bercé forest and they said, okay, this is the wood that we're going to use. They harvested X amount of trees. They repaired the cathedral, and then after that, they had some wood left over. We ended up getting, there were only so many barrels that they ended up selling the wood to Cooperage. They ended up only having so many barrels, but Dan Calloway worked his magic and ended up getting 4 or 6 barrels, whatever it happened to be. Brought them back to the States, and we were able to age this bourbon in those barrels for, I believe it was 14 months. 300-year French oak, just unbelievable stuff. So
Insane.
this is going to be a fun one for you guys this one.
Don't touch it.
This has been too much fun. There's so many great bottles. There's so many great choices. And thank you for having us over and
Man.
pouring. These pours were awesome. But we have to do it. What is one of your favorite bottles that you have in this entire collection here?
Ooh, that's like... and
I know.
I know. That's like, you know, who's your favorite kid? Which I don't have kids, so it's an easy question. No, but as far as like favorite bottle in the collection, the one that I feel like I go back to all the time, it's a great daily. It's one that just really personifies me. If I were a bourbon, this would be me.
Ooh.
That's your question for the future. If you were a bourbon, which one would you be? It's this Ezra B12. It's a 12-year, 99 proof single barrel out of Luxco, which was produced by Heaven Hill. 2015, they actually stopped making these in 2016. So as far as daily drinkers, it's one that if you can find it to have it as a daily, it's great. There's just not many of those still around. But this is one that I got a while back. And
Wow.
It's one that I just really, really enjoy. So
Heck yeah.
let's go ahead and close out on this one. Man, see, like every time it just fits my palate.
Yeah, I
And
can see that.
I don't know if everybody really enjoys this one, but I do,
Wow.
Definitely tastes sassy.
and that's and that's all that matters.
Wow, yeah, that's tasty.
So, yeah.
That is tasty.
I eat Italian food today
Hey.
and whiskey, but seriously, follow Bourbon Goggles on Instagram. Anywhere else?
Instagram, you can actually go to my website, bourbongoggles.com.
Okay. You can learn more about the story. I know we don't. Honestly, we've been talking off camera. There's like so much to tell about this place. Yeah, there's merch to get. If you want to find out more, definitely check that out. On Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok, we're also going to put out a separate reel where I think my idea is going to be asking you of your 5 favorite prized possessions. You already told us one today,
Okay.
which is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Hirsch.
I like
Maybe even the silver top Willet could be one on there. But
And maybe they're not even bourbon.
yeah, it could be just whiskey. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. Show me your whiskey. This has definitely been one of my favorite episodes yet. And cheers, everybody.